The one forgotten truth that actually built every fortune in history. But they never teach it in school. And the reason why? It might just change everything you think you know about money. I know you've heard it 1,000 times. Passive income is the key. Build systems that work while you sleep. Let your money work for you. But here's the truth they're not telling you. Before any of that works, you need one mental skill. And most people never develop it. Let me introduce you to a man named John D. Rockefeller. In 1863, he was 24 years old, running a small oil refinery in Cleveland. Everyone around him was chasing quick profits, selling low-quality oil, cutting corners, getting rich fast. But Rockefeller did something different. He developed what he called the habit of delay. Before any decision, he would wait, sometimes hours, sometimes days. He would sit with the discomfort of not knowing. And here's the shocking part. While his competitors were making 100% returns in months, Rockefeller was making 10% returns. But he did it consistently for 40 years. By 1900, he was worth 1.5% of the entire U.S. economy. Rockefeller once said, "The ability to defer gratification is the single most important skill for success." Think about that. The richest man in modern history didn't credit leverage or systems or passive income. He credited patience, the willingness to feel the pain of waiting while everyone else was getting rich, and then watching them lose it all. Now let's jump to 1924. A psychologist named Walter Milley at Stanford University conducted a famous experiment with children and marshmallows. He gave a child one marshmallow, told them they could eat it now or wait 15 minutes and get two. He followed these kids for 40 years. The ones who waited, they had higher SAT scores, lower BMI, better relationships, and higher incomes. The ones who ate the marshmallow, they struggled. This wasn't about willpower. It was about a specific mental skill, the ability to tolerate the discomfort of waiting. But here's what most people miss about the marshmallow test. The kids who succeeded didn't just try harder. They had strategies. They turned around, they covered their eyes, they sang songs, they distracted themselves from the craving. In other words, they had learned how to manage their own psychology. And that's exactly what the wealthy have been doing for centuries. So what is this mental skill exactly? It's what I call emotional sovereignty, the ability to feel an impulse without acting on it, to sit with the anxiety of not having what you want, to watch others get rich fast and not feel desperate, to trust that your patient, boring strategy will eventually win. And here's the deepest truth. Every single financial failure I've ever studied, from the Dutch tulip mania of 1637 to the 2008 housing crash, was caused by people who couldn't do this one thing. Consider this. In 1999, during the dot-com bubble, a man named Warren Buffett was called out of touch and past his prime because he refused to invest in tech stocks he didn't understand. The media mocked him. Investors abandoned him. But he sat in the discomfort. He waited. And when the bubble burst in 2000, trillions of dollars vanished. Buffett? He had $40 billion in cash ready to buy when everyone else was panicking. He didn't have a secret formula. He had emotional sovereignty. Now let me bring this home for you. Every time you chase passive income before mastering this skill, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Because passive income requires upfront work, delayed returns, and the ability to not quit when nothing happens for months. If you can't handle the waiting, you'll jump from strategy to strategy, never building anything real. The math is brutal. 90% of people who try to build passive income quit within the first year because they can't tolerate the emotional discomfort of slow progress. I once worked with a client named Sarah. She wanted to build a rental property portfolio. She saved $50,000 over 3 years. Then she saw a TikTok about house hacking and got impatient. She bought a property in a bad market, overpaid, and lost $30,000 in 6 months. She had the financial discipline to save, but she lacked the emotional sovereignty to wait for the right deal. That one impulsive decision cost her 3 years of work. Master emotional sovereignty first. Learn to sit with the discomfort of waiting. Train yourself to feel the craving without acting. Because every fortune in history was built not by people who got rich fast, but by people who could wait longer than anyone else. If this resonated, follow for more untold history. Next week, I'll reveal the one psychological trick the Medici family used to control Europe's economy for 300 years, and how you can use it today.